Hey guys, it's Hannah. Today I'm going to do another book talk, and what we're doing today is Champion by Marie Lu. So I've already done Legend, I still need to do Prodigy, but I finished Champion and I was like, I just need to do a book talk, because what happened is I read it in 2 days, and I finished it at like 6 in the morning, and it was so sad, you guys. It wasn't sad, but there were just so many feels, and I definitely, I was laying in my bed, and I don't use the dust jacket when I'm reading it, so I was laying in bed and I finished it, and I was just like, oh. And I went to sleep and I was hugging the book. That's how many feels this was, guys. It happened. That's what happened. So, as we know, Marie Lu is an amazing and brilliant author, and her books are wonderful and action-packed, and I can't wait until the movies come out, because the way that she writes is just so intense and action-packed, like I just said, and just attention-grabbing and brilliant. And many more. Many, many more. So, if you haven't read this book, go read it so that you can finish it at 6 in the morning and then cuddle up and hug all the characters in it through the pages and fall asleep. So I filmed this entire book talk without knowing that the camera had stopped recording at like minute 2. Just kept talking, and then when I was done, I went to press the button, and it was already off. It wasn't off, it had just stopped recording, because it had ran out of memory. So that's why it's darker, that's why there's a change of angle, and yeah. Anyways, we're gonna continue talking about Champion. So, as I was saying, but you guys couldn't hear me because the camera was off, I love Marie Lu's writing. One of my favorite implementations in her writing is the difference between Day and June's perspective. I know in a whole bunch of other books we can get different perspectives from like the two main characters, such as Divergent or any other one. Even Twilight does that. And sometimes it's hard to discriminate between each person. I know that of course you know who's talking, but sometimes they're really, really similar. Like, they don't have distinguishing characteristics. You just know that it's them because they're talking, because they have a different point of view than the other person, of course. But here, we get June's calculating mind. Whenever she walks into a room, it's always just boom, boom, boom. She has to know the dimensions and the width and the height and how many bars there are on the ceiling and what is going on, how many people there are in the room, etc., and like facial features and everything. And she's just super calculating like that. And Day, of course, he's a legend, so he has those qualities, but he wasn't raised in the Republic as a soldier to be able to come up and think of that at such a young age, because he had to learn by himself, because he was out on the streets during Legend and Prodigy. But yeah, so that's one of my favorite things about here. Yeah, it's just this book. I don't even know. You know. And okay, so start off. I hate the cliche, if you love something, you have to let it go. Because almost every author uses that, and it either comes up and then they do it, or the person does. It just happens, and I don't appreciate it, because Day went and did it at the end of Prodigy, and then now June comes and does it once Day gets shot. Oh my gosh, when Day got shot, I don't... okay, to discuss that we have to go to Captain Jameson. Captain Jameson needs to die. It just had to happen. I didn't appreciate her, and of course there was the "you can't kill me, you're just like me" thing with her and June, and it had to stop. She cannot survive this book at all, and I was so happy when they did, even though she dislocated June's shoulder, and that was an intense fighting scene. I wasn't sure why June didn't get there faster, because she's running across the rooftops, and she hears the shot, and then she hears Day being hurt. And then she's like, oh, she's loading another shot. She is aiming. And then she shoots Day again. I was like, why didn't you stop that? It's Day. You have to save him. And she did, but I mean, sorry. So starting off, Andon. I feel bad for Andon. I wish that, I mean, I could see them work, but then, I mean, of course Day is better, but, I mean, I'm glad that they got, like, was it 2 or 3 years where they dated when she was in her 20s, and he finally got his time with her. I was like, oh, well, that's good, so they gotta be happy. But I still felt bad for him. Because he deserves happiness. He's the youngest elector, and he needs someone to keep him grounded and to be able to be his support. And June understands him and knows what he's thinking and can be that person as the Princeps-elect. But I'm glad that she made a decision, because she definitely needs to be back as a soldier, because that's where she belongs, and I was pretty excited when she made the decision. Eden, I am so proud of Eden. I was excited because I know that Day is his guardian now that the parents are dead and that his older brother's dead, but he can't make all the decisions. I knew that Eden has a good heart and would want to help, especially if it's the fate of the Republic and it's just some blood tests. I mean, it wouldn't kill him. I wanted to know some of the background of that, because at first I thought it was just them drawing blood and then testing on the blood samples that they had taken, but apparently it was like made them nauseous and really, really weak. And the same happened to June when she was like, oh my gosh, I'm the puzzle piece. What? That was crazy. I did not see that coming. I think that was really just like fit together super well, and you just like look back on it and you're like, oh, I knew when that happened. Bam. Yeah. So there's that. But I'm glad that Eden stood up today and was just like, I should have the decision to help people and be able to, even if it makes me nauseous for a little bit, I should be able to go and run some blood tests and then help fight for the Republic. That's good. And we got to see some old favorites. Well, not some old favorites, but some old faces. Tess came back, thank goodness. I'm so glad that she survived. When she came in, she was screaming on the hospital bed, and they said that she was infected. I was like, oh my gosh, Matthias was right! And of course then June flashed back to Matthias's words. It's like, one day the Republic will create a virus that we won't be able to stop. A plague. So crazy. But we got to see Pascal and Tess and a few of the other runners and Baxter, and I was happy for that. I'm glad Pascal was able to be redeemed, because I did not appreciate him in Prodigy. Just part of the Patriots, they were all just very anti-Day, and of course in their assassination of Andon, I mean, we were on June's side, but he got redeemed, and he definitely saw the light and helped Day get back, and was always, he was the bigger man, and I'm glad that him and Tess and June became really good friends after Day left. When he didn't remember her, when he woke up, we knew that something was gonna happen, because of course, like, at the end of the last book, we knew that he was gonna die from like cancer or something, because Dr. Humor was just like, the x-rays are not okay. Like, ah! No! He's the legend, he has to be okay. And then he just deteriorates, you're like, he already has a metal knee, now you're just making him have headaches, and his hippocampus is not healthy. Ugh. What are you doing? Help him. Antarctica, I really wish that they were more interested in helping the Republic. I mean, they saw that the colonies were coming in, and they went and destroyed Denver before the 3-day ceasefire was supposed to be over. That should have been their cue to be like, oh, we should be on the Republic side. But instead, they're just like, we have the power, we can hold back, we don't need to jump on it yet. But then right after June and Day and everybody fought back and Day escaped from the Chancellor's airship and then it blew up everything and it was awesome. Then the Antarcticans came in, and then they were like, oh, Eden, Day's brother, come work for us. Whatever, Antarctica. Even though you're awesome, I want to live there. It's like a video game. You just see the +1 water go and help them. And it's like, do. Could you just like go back and water the plant all day in order to just get extra points? Or if you go and enter the simulator and you just like learn things, that's a good motivation to get on the next level. Get on my level. Whole other meaning right there. That'd be funny. Really did a really good job switching our minds during the books. Because when we start out, of course, the Republic is the enemy. Because they kill Matthias, they kill June's parents on purpose, they kill Day's brother, they kill Day's mother, they banish them, and are just horrible. So of course we hate the Republic by the end of the first book. And then we go into it in the second book, in Prodigy, and we're on the side of the colonies until we find that, like, the Patriots are actually not working for the colonies, but that's what we wanted because, of course, Day's medallion is actually a quarter, and you're just like, that's what they're fighting for because they have the American flag as their flag, and etc., etc., etc. They want the United States to become a thing again, but then it flips back on its back, and then we have to go and we fight for the Republic again, which is awesome. And I just love the way that she weaved that in really quickly. I didn't think of it until just now. I was like, wait, I was fighting for the colonies in the second book. But, yeah, they're not... Okay. Good job. I didn't like the Chancellor. I don't know what happened to him, but he survived, right? I'm pretty sure. Because Andon would have to go and meet with him in order to create a peace treaty. He just seemed a little too old. I know that his eyes were mechanical. That was crazy. That'd be weird. I thought of like a mix between Mad-Eye Moody and then Cyborg from Teen Titans. And I'm like, what? But I do like how it ended, as you guys can tell by me just curling up with the book and falling asleep. But, of course, I wish that we could have known what happened after that instead of, hi, I'm Day. I'm June. I would have, I don't know, just maybe an epilogue afterwards, just to be like, oh, they grew up in the Republic, they had kids, and they were just happy. But I mean, I feel like that after every single story. Even in the movies, if there's a happy ending, I was like, why don't they make another movie after that, where they're just like, oh, they have a family, and they're living happily ever after. Which is, like, every single movie. Like, The Proposals. Like, what happens after that? Do they just go and live together in Alaska? But this is getting completely off topic. So, I will leave you guys at that. I will leave you guys with that. And if you have any comments, suggestions, if you have any comments about the book, things that I missed, more discussion points that you want to talk about, comment below, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys next time. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you later. Bye!